Executive functioning skills are the bedrock to peace, productivity, and purpose, not just potential. Potential is where we start. It's the raw material, the intelligence, the drive, the vision, the desire to do something meaningful with your life. And most of the people I work with have potential in abundance. But potential alone does not get you there. Potential without the skills to act on it is just a really painful gap between who you are and who you know you could be. Executive functioning skills are how you close that gap, and that is exactly what this channel is about. Hi, I'm Ashley Mangione. I'm an executive functioning coach, a former classroom teacher and reading specialist, a published author, and someone who has spent years sitting across from students, parents, and professionals who are smart, capable, and still stuck in ways they cannot fully explain. I hold a master's degree in human services counseling and one of the highest coaching certifications available. I work with children, teenagers, college students, parents, professionals, and entrepreneurs in person and on Zoom, in small groups and on stages. And the thread that runs through every single person I work with is the same. They have the potential. They are missing the skills. This channel exists to change that for as many people as possible, starting with you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what executive functioning actually is, why it affects every area of your life, and why this channel might be the most practical, useful thing you subscribe to this year. That's not a small claim. I mean it. Stay with me. Executive functioning is a set of brain-based skills that govern how you manage yourself and your life. Not how smart you are, how you function. In my work, I teach 11 core executive functioning skills: self-awareness, emotional control, flexible thinking, organization, perseverance, planning and goal setting, impulse control, sustained attention, task initiation, time management, and working memory. 11 skills. And here is what most people do not know. These skills are almost never explicitly taught. Not in school, not at home, not in most workplaces. We test children on reading and math from the time they are 5 years old. We never once sit them down and teach them how to manage their time, how to start a task they do not want to do, how to organize their thinking, or how to regulate their emotions when things get hard. And then we wonder why so many capable people cannot seem to get out of their own way. It's not a character problem. It is a curriculum problem. These skills were never on the syllabus, and in my opinion, they should be. They should be taught in every school at every grade level the same way we teach reading and mathematics, because they are that foundational to everything else. When executive functioning skills are weak, regardless of how intelligent you are, regardless of how much potential you have, school is harder than it should be. Work is harder than it should be. Relationships are harder than they should be. The gap between what you're capable of and what you're actually producing stays wide, no matter how hard you try to close it through effort alone. When those skills are strong, everything changes. Not overnight, not without work, but in a real, lasting, compounding way that touches every area of your life. I want to be very direct about who I'm talking to, because this channel is for more people than you might expect. If you're a parent watching this because your child is struggling with school, with organization, with emotions, with friendships, with getting out the door in the morning, you're in the right place. What you're watching play out in your child is almost certainly an executive functioning challenge. And executive functioning challenges can be addressed. I'm going to show you how. If you're a student in high school, in college, navigating the real world for the first time, and you feel like you're working twice as hard as everyone else for half the results, you are in the right place. The skills behind what is hard for you have names, and they can be built. If you're a professional or an entrepreneur who's capable and credentialed and still cannot seem to follow through consistently, meet deadlines without panic, or close the gap between your vision and your execution, you're in the right place. Executive functioning does not stop being relevant after graduation. It follows you into every job, every relationship, every goal you have ever set and not quite reached. And if you have ADHD, or you suspect you might, or someone you love does, you're also especially in the right place. ADHD is one of the most misunderstood, most mislabeled, and most undersupported neurological differences I work with. And the research is clear. Medication alone is never the complete answer. The skills have to be built. This is what we do here. This channel is for anyone who's tired of the gap between their potential and their reality, and who is ready to do something about it. Let me tell you exactly what to expect here, because I want you to know what you are subscribing to. Every video on this channel is built around one core commitment: real, research-informed, practically useful content that you can actually apply to your real life. Not theory for theory's sake, not motivation without substance, not oversimplified advice that sounds good and does nothing. I'm going to teach you the 11 executive functioning skills, what they are, why they matter, and how to build each one. I'm going to talk about time management, task initiation, emotional regulation, working memory, perseverance, and all the other skills that determine whether your days feel functional or chaotic. And I'm going to talk about ADHD, honestly, specifically, and with the depth it deserves. I'm going to give parents tools for the conversations that keep going sideways. I'm going to give students strategies that actually work for the way their brains operate. And I'm going to give professionals and entrepreneurs the executive functioning framework that turns potential into traction. Every video will give you something you can use, not someday, this week. I also want you to know something about how I teach. I'm not here to make you feel bad about where you are. I have spent too many years sitting with people who already feel bad enough. I'm here to give you language for what has been hard, tools for what has been stuck, and the genuine conviction based on real experience with real people that the skills behind the struggle can be built. That conviction is not naive optimism. It is what I have watched to be true over and over again in students and families and professionals who came to me at their most frustrated and left with something they did not have before: a framework, a starting point, a path forward. I want to leave you with the thing I say most often, because I think it is the thing most people need to hear first. You are not stuck because something is wrong with you. You're not struggling because you're lazy or careless or incapable. You are struggling because nobody ever taught you the skills that make everything else possible. Potential is where we start. Executive functioning is how we get there. This is not just a tagline. It's the truest thing I know about the work I do. And it is why I show up every single week here in my coaching practice, in every room I'm given the privilege to stand in, to teach these skills to anyone who's ready to build them. You found this channel for a reason. I do not think it is an accident. Here's what I want you to do right now. Subscribe so you do not miss a single episode or video. And then go watch my next video where I break down all 11 executive functioning skills, what each one looks like in daily life, and why understanding your own executive functioning profile is the most important place to start. If you want a free resource to go with it, my EF Starter Checklist is in the description below. 10 foundational habits, 1 page, a real and practical place to begin building. And if you're ready to work with me directly for your child, for yourself, for your teen, visit dynamiclearningconnection.com. I would love to be a part of what changes for you. Welcome to Dynamic Learning Connection. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you next Tuesday.